Educational Center Open Innovations, the first in the Republic, was opened in Almaty in 2017. It is the only official partner of LEGO Education, continuing education programs in Kazakhstan. Today, there are 3 branches in the country that teach children robotics using an international methodology. The idea came 3 years ago when the founder, Shukrat Sadirov, studied at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And he went there with the whole family. His children went to the Center of Continuing Education. He saw this program, how interesting it was, and that's how the idea of opening a similar center in Kazakhstan was born. But since the rights belong to Denmark, we had to negotiate with them for a very long time. We had to prove for a very long time that our country needs it. These international programs involve children in Japan, South Korea, the USA, Great Britain, and other countries. And in the branches of the Innovation Center for Child Development, about 700 young Kazakhstani people undergo training for 1 year. Teachers hope that their students will be future engineers and researchers. Our program is used for children from 3 to 14 years old. Accordingly, we also have the integrated development of babies of 3 to 4 years of age. And 6 to 7-year-olds learn the basics of mechanics and physics. And also there is a world of robotics dedicated to children aged 7 to 9 years old. They study an industry of robotics. This includes programming, the creation of robots, the solution of complex problems, and, of course, the development of children in the field of technical engineering. One of the main tasks of the center is to grow competitive and sought-after professionals in the international market. Classes are held in Kazakh, Russian, and English languages. In addition to specific knowledge, children gain skills in teamwork, critical and creative thinking, develop the ability to solve non-standard tasks, and conduct scientific activities. In 20 years, 80 professions will be automated. And we set such a task before the graduates of our school, that they must learn not only the technical exact sciences, but they must learn flexible thinking. They must learn to think logically. They must learn to quickly navigate in space, understand how they can diversify their work opportunities with existing knowledge. That is, they receive precisely this flexibility, these soft skills here. Children are trained using special construction kits. The founders of the program are very attentive to the levels of development of children. Therefore, for each age category, there are separate construction kits. For older children who are already studying robotics, there are special kits in the center. These construction kits were developed in due time together with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, with which we also cooperate. We are an official partner of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston, USA. We have been working with them for 2 consecutive years. Every winter vacation, the best students come to us and teach our children. This is a winter robotic innovation and technology camp. Education in it is free for all our students. Children can apply the knowledge gained in the classroom, not only in school. To inspire students to take the learning process with all seriousness, they are sent to city and international competitions. The first competition abroad were in Russia. We went there together with the team. We faced new problems, which then we had to solve. The second experience was already in Denmark at international competitions. Representatives of a lot of countries came here to participate. 40 foreign countries participated in our category. There were so many strong teams. When you have some kind of problem, you have a lot of ways to solve it. You don't have to memorize anything. You can come up with a solution on the spot. When something doesn't work out at the competitions, you can take something, change something dramatically, which you never did, and it works. You can use all the knowledge you gain at the center. According to international program standards, groups have no more than 8 students. All teachers have been trained by foreign experts and underwent an official certification. And despite this, the price of education is very affordable, only 10,000 tenge per month. Here, a child for 10,000 tenge per month receives unique knowledge that he will carry with him through his whole life. Children's academic performance improves as well as children's attention and concentration. That is, they improve their grades in high school at a standard regular school after they study in our center. They make new friends, they have new opportunities, they go to competitions, they broaden their horizons. At the moment, there are only 3 branches of the Innovative Center for Child Development in the country, 2 in Almaty and 1 in Nur Sultan. At the moment, the team is facing large-scale tasks. It is planned to open 2 more branches in the main cities of the country, but it's too early to talk about going to other regions. Australian billionaire Mike Cannon-Brookes has invested $10 million in a British startup, Juvenescence, that is, youth, which works to extend human life. The project team does not conduct its own development, but seeks to create a system of interconnected organizations that develop treatment technologies that will help strengthen people's health and extend their life. It is known that a research company is working with the startup, which is working on the technology of updating human cells for the treatment of cancer, diabetes, neurodegenerative diseases, and heart diseases. The head of the company, Jim Mellon, assures that the startup has already raised more money than any similar company and plans to continue to develop. Today, according to Financial Times, the project is estimated at $500 million. Facebook acquired Israel's service friend Chatbox service. It is reported that startup technology will be integrated into the electronic wallet Calibra. One of its investors told about the sale of a startup. The company employs 30 people, but how many of them will now go to Facebook is still unknown. The amount of the transaction is also not disclosed. The Israeli project, created in 2015, is developing artificial intelligence technologies to communicate with customers and solve their problems. It is known that Facebook previously collaborated with Service Friend. A startup team helped the social network to develop hybrid chatbox for business pages to scale technical support. Facebook confirmed the deal, but declined to comment on the details. Diabetes is one of the main medical problems of our time. Today in Kazakhstan, there are more than 450,000 patients. Scientists around the world are working on innovative technologies that would help diagnose and help prevent complications. Recently, in our country, the mobile application ASAD was created for the rapid diagnosis of retinopathy, vision loss in patients with diabetes. ASAD is a software package that allows you to diagnose a person in advance, before complete loss of vision occurs. The software package is associated with the medical method of indirect ophthalmoscopy. In fact, we get a picture of the fundus, and with the help of machine learning computer vision, we get not a diagnosis per se, but give recommendations to doctors who can later refer the patient for further tests. Almost everything is ready to launch the project. In the near future, it is planned to test more than 100 people in order to analyze the operation of the application and allow its mass use. Each of those with diabetes can become blind if he has hypertension. These 2 diseases in most cases lead to vision loss. Now the state has launched a large screening campaign to identify diabetics. We would plan to get into this campaign and help the state keep people healthy. The app is pretty easy to use. For express diagnostics, the user just needs to photograph the fundus using a special lens that attaches to the phone's camera, save the picture, and send it for verification. The mobile application is installed on the phone, and you can use an ophthalmoscope and take the picture of an eye through the phone's camera. After that, we get the pictures in the phone itself and send it to the server. The ophthalmoscope is a kind of lens for the phone's camera. It consists of a lens system, has a backlight, and is attached to the phone according to different factors for different phone models. The server automatically analyzes the image. The application already has all the information about possible eye pathologies. There are about 60 of them. The system immediately identifies any anomalies, gives a decryption of the image, and sends it back to the user so that the patient can contact her doctor. Now we use neural networks, the architectures of which have just recently appeared. We refine them, train them on a huge amount of data, and it turns out that the neural network can determine them in the same way as a person. That is, our algorithms work the same way as the doctor. He looks with his eyes and sees some things, that is, we try to train them the way doctors are trained. It is worth emphasizing that the application does not replace the appointment of an ophthalmologist, whom all patients with diabetes should regularly visit. Today's tasks are to primarily increase accuracy, because determining whether a patient is healthy or unhealthy is a solved problem. But physicians are interested in something completely different. They are interested in the stages of disease. The error in the stages is much larger than what would be expected during the implementation. Now we have our metric of 0.79. That is, it does not nearly reach 80%, at which we would feel confident in the implementation.
0,79, то есть чуть-чуть не дотягивает до 80%, на которых мы себя бы уверенно чувствовали при внедрении.
The application allows you to monitor the dynamics of processes and timely detect the presence of any complications or pathologies. For modern medicine, this is a big step forward. But before the project becomes publicly available, developers need to solve many problems. Can you hear me? Too much light. This way is fine. Hello, my name is Anton Musin. I'm Managing Director of Accenture, Kazakhstan. This technology, in fact, has been known for a very long time. These are so-called machine learning algorithms. These algorithms have long been known, and there were several waves of the development of artificial intelligence, and now we are in one of the last of such waves. On the basis of data sampling, it can be images, financial or text information. Machine learning allows you to make some decisions based on this data via statistical or near statistical methods.
Статистическими или околостатистическими методами сделать или принять какое-то решение. Например,
for example, this algorithm can select cats from a list of photographs of cats and dogs, because it knows that a cat has triangular ears, a specific muzzle, and a fluffy tail. That is, this algorithm based on the samples can learn and make a decision. Out of 10 or hundreds of photos, it can determine 5 photos of a cat and 10 photos of a dog.
Вот из этой выборки, допустим, из 10 фотографий или сотни фотографий, 5 фотографий — это фотографии кошки, а все остальные — это фотографии собаки. Это тот пример, который...
The example that I talked about is probably very simplified, but in fact, now there are many technologies related to the recognition of faces, human emotions.
С распознаванием эмоций человеческого лица, то, что наиболее применимо.
These technologies are actively used in the financial sector, where, based on machine learning, fintech companies are looking for the most profitable areas for investment. Given the limitations of this technology, we can understand where, from the point of view of the development of machine, we are located. Limitation number 1 is the following. In order for artificial intelligence to learn something, it needs huge amounts of data. The implementation of artificial intelligence in the near future is not worth it.
Для того, чтобы машинное обучение или вот искусственный интеллект обучился что-то делать, ему нужны огромные массивы данных. Реализация искусственного интеллекта...
We will not be surrounded by humanoid robots in the near future. The maximum of what we will achieve now and will remain in this format for a long time. Artificial intelligence will be able to recognize our speech and can pretend to be human. But the machine will not be able to show emotions and will be very limited in terms of learning. Therefore, we, people, will always have places in this ecosystem in order to learn artificial intelligence, to limit it, to tame it. And the future of the development of artificial intelligence and its interaction with humans, I, as an expert, see that these two entities will merge and will complement each other.
И, собственно, вот, наверное, будущее развитие искусственного интеллекта и человека я, как эксперт, вижу в том, что эти две сущности, они где-то срастутся и будут дополнять один другого.
Each traveler eventually comes to the conclusion that standard sightseeing tours give only a general idea of a city or country. Travel guides do not reveal all the secrets, and you want to know something very special, known only to local residents. Thanks to such curiosity, an international network of useful and affordable city tours, Tours at 1515, appeared. This is a quick, exciting, and convenient way to get to know the city, iconic places, useful tips, and immersion in modern life. The project brings together independent travelers and professional guides who show the city as if they were walking along it with their friends. Tour routes, a mix of postcard attractions and non-tourist places where locals like to hang out. The format of the tours itself implies the beginning, respectively, at 15:15. Tours start every day. Initially, the idea of a tour arose in Amsterdam from a person who moved from Belarus to Amsterdam, and he began to study the tourist market of Amsterdam and realized there were no good excursions in Russian. And then he decided to establish a similar format. That is, he himself was a computer technician. He was engaged in IT technologies, and he decided, why not start doing tours? In general, the 15:15 format implies a 2-hour walk. We learned about them. We ourselves were the customers of these excursions in other cities, and we decided, why not bring this franchise to our city too? In Kazakhstan, the project started on July 15th this year. At the moment, you can order a tour only in the city of Almaty. Tours are conducted in Russian, which incidentally is also part of this international format. Our project is not designed for Almaty residents, not for residents of the city, but more for those who come here and who may not even have very much time to see the city. We tried to cater to that, and that's the policy of 15:15. We tried to leave at 2 o'clock, give the large amount of information about our city. That is, we are not only talking about attractions, we're also talking about where a person can go, where he can eat tasty food, what exhibitions are taking place at this moment, maybe some theatrical productions or premieres. According to the franchise agreement, excursions are carried out strictly according to the agreed plan. The route was also approved in advance. In fact, this is a short sightseeing tour that allows you to learn the history of the city and all the most interesting things about life in it in 2.5 hours. The route starts from the Ascension Cathedral and ends at the Green Market. Well, the Green Market because in the end tours can buy some souvenirs there. We start from the Ascension Cathedral and around the park. We go to Panfilov Street, go down it along the Arbat, and then we get to the Green Market. And we talk about all historical periods, of course, in the park. We talk about the World War II. It just turns out that we cover all historical periods. By the way, on the website of the international network, Almaty is the first city on the list. You can register for the tour on the website in advance at least 12 hours before it starts and pay either online or in cash right on the spot. Since we are in franchise, we don't even have a headache on how to make money. A person is registered on the site, pays for this tour through the site. We come. Even if it will be one person, we will come. We will conduct a tour. In total, the list of the project includes 45 cities around the world. The cost of the tour varies from 10 to 20 euros. Almaty tour is one of the most expensive, 8,000 tenge. But for the team, it is important not only to earn money by attracting as many people as possible on excursions, but also to generally increase the tour's attractiveness of their native city. Kazakh businessman Murat Abdrakhmanov invested $300,000 in a Nomi startup. It is known that the funds raised will go to strengthen the team and to launch on Amazon and other platforms. Today, a startup has more than 95% of foreign customers. Devices are sold in 85 countries. The main sales are conducted in the markets of the USA, Southeast Asia, Australia, Europe, and the Middle East. Also in July this year, it was reported that the team intends to enter the Chinese market. Murat Abdrakhmanov is an active venture investor. Investing in this project for him is additional resources and the opportunity to receive recommendations from an industry expert. The businessman himself, commenting on the decision, said that he was close to the telecommunications sector and the startup team focuses on developed markets. So the project has high potential and it is interesting for Murat to take part in its growth. Nokia plans to invest $500 million in the development of a 5G network in Kazakhstan. At the plenary meeting on September 11th, deputies of the Majlis approved the ratification of the framework agreement between the Republic of Kazakhstan and the Northern Investment Bank. The main areas of financing for the Nordic Investment Bank are energy, the green economy, telecommunications, industry, agriculture, and small and medium-sized businesses. This agreement will allow the bank to finance Kazakh projects. Insiders report that a pool of projects has already been formed with a total value of 1 billion euros. Among them is a 5G implementation project, the investment amount of which is $500 million, and the Finnish company Nokia may act as an investor as it is now planned.